get your family together, the ones that want to go, and then from there you got to get your health together.
Yep, agreed.
That would be my top 3. If I had to have like, hey, everybody look like me, go do this. Like that would be my top 3.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
Definitely be culture, cause you know what I mean. Definitely go back, figure out who we are as people, know who our family is. Know thyself. Know thyself would be the first thing I would tell them. Know thyself. The first thing I would say, go out there and know thyself. Know our culture / history. We have to know that. Then the third thing I would tell them is unity. This is the original people in the Eve gene. People always asking us, are y'all Muslims? Are y'all 5%ers? Are y'all Jehovah's Witnesses? Oh, what, y'all don't believe in Jesus Christ? I simply tell them the original people in the Eve gene represents all melanated people around the world and uniting all melanated cultures across the globe. Melanated people come in many different shades. We have many different areas, and we have many different cultures and beliefs. Let's put that all aside and come as one.
It does, but we good though. What's going on, family? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We are the #1 podcast for individuals that are seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good, cuz?
Man, you already know, big cuz. Living it up, man. Living life.
Absolutely.
Trying, like I said, I feel like life is a dream. I always say that. I mean, life is a movie, not a dream. I'm sorry. Life is a movie, man. I'm the director of it, and I'm directing it any way I want. I'm leading. I'm making the movie the way I want. Everybody got their own powers to do that. This is your movie. This is your life, and you lead it the way you want it. You make the movie. You make the movie. Cut anytime you want. When you see some stuff going on that you don't like, cut.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like the analogy.
You know, right. Then you got your cameraman. You tell your cameraman what you always tell your cameraman: keep rolling, don't stop. Even when I tell you to cut, because when it's time to cut, your camera is your memory. Your camera, you need to still remember this. Even though I'm telling the cut, we need to know why we cutting for. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling, cuz. I'm the director. I'm Spike Lee. You know what I mean? I'm Spike. Nah. I'm only wrong. Spike Lee ain't got nothing on me, boy.
I love it. I love his confidence. That's why we family. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's dope though. That you mentioned that analogy of like how everybody's life is like life in general is a movie. Specifically, that's how you felt about your life. That's a dope recognition of awareness of self. So
how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling all types of feelings, man. I'm open to a lot of different experiences. I'm open to having fun and not
open to a lot of different experiences. What's that?
Yeah, like not taking life as this big sacrifice.
Explain that. I mean, like, what you mean? Why you say a sacrifice?
That's how I feel. Like my life is like a whole like sacrifice, meaning that like I'm put on like my purpose is. I know I'm clear on my purpose, what it is, and like the process of getting there. I felt like I had to sacrifice all these different things that are part of the human experience. And now I'm like open and like learning and growing into them and maturing into like, you don't have to be so hard and do all these different things. Like loosen up. You know what I'm saying? So
we all here to live.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm unthawing essentially. Yeah. I'm unthawing, cuz I was unthawing.
You getting unloose, cuz getting unloose, man. And trust me, I believe you, man. Just about 3 minutes ago, right? But 3 minutes and however many seconds ago, right here, right now. This guy singing to me, dancing. I said, man, cuz you gotta stop trying to sing and dance around me, man. What? Cuz I know we breaking new burials. Yeah. I know that we doing new things, you know what I mean? I love you, cuz, but you ain't gotta keep singing around me. I ain't that comfortable yet. Cuz be singing around me every time.
Low key, he probably jealous, y'all. But it's all
Yeah, I
good,
am, man,
It's
because
all
cuz
good,
got the
man.
genetics, man. And I ain't come to me. You know what I mean? So stop bragging, cuz.
It be
That's
your
how I'm
own
looking
people,
at it.
man.
Yeah.
It be your own
Hey,
people.
but yo, people, I'm one of them people who let you know, yeah, you hit it right on point. You hit it right on point. You hit it right on point.
Be your old people.
Stop
That's
singing
tough.
to me, man.
That's tough.
But yeah, man, cuz, man, I'm glad that, man. I'm glad you unthawing, man. I'm glad, cause, man, life is really just a journey. A lot of us miss out on that. We really got to be here to enjoy. Like, that's what I was saying the other day to my wife. I was speaking, like, the human brain never gives us time to actually think and to just actually embrace the moment all the time. The brain likes to be busy. We're always up to something, trying to reach a goal, trying to figure this out, trying to figure that out. We never give our time just blankness. We never give our brain just time of emptiness, of blankness, just like really not worry about nothing. Because even when you do go in that environment, even when you are peaceful, you be like, only can be peaceful for about an hour or two, and now it's time to go back to business. Only can be peaceful for today. Now it's time to go back in business. We need to go back and find that peace, because when you go into that peace, that's that, and you actually figure out what you're here for. We're here to enjoy life and actually to have a experiment as a human. You know, experience this as humans. We are not here to make $1 billion. We're not here to keep working and working, or even building and building. Even for people who are entrepreneurs who even building, we're not here just to constantly build. We're not just here to constantly work. We are really here to improve our higher level of thinking, so we can go on to the next journey of what we will call life, but it's really whatever it has to do with the soul. You know.
Absolutely, and also too, as it pertains to leading a lineage, right? You know, like we always say, lead yourself.
Yeah.
And then go lead your lineage. Like, and then, like, all these different variations of that, like, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage, right? So, like, when we take a step back and look at it, there's a lot of, like you said, it's like people aren't here to make $1 billion. Some people may feel differently.
Yeah.
And that's okay for them to have that space, right?
Yeah.
Like, as we promote and like preach to each other, being like holistically 360 degrees
360
of a person,
360, be 360.
and not just being like 90 degrees like of a person. Like, you just like, you the richest person, you know, richest person in the world. Like, that's not holistic. How like our people used to be and how we desire to.
It's not how to get to the next level.
Right.
The next level. That's still one set of mind thinking. You are here to make. You're not just.
It's one dimensional.
Yeah, one dimensional.
We're multi-dimensional beings. You know.
Yeah.
Like, we have emotions. We have things that we have intelligence. We have emotion. Like, we have like the film, like the history that we have in our genetics. Like, we have all these different things we can tap into, but we don't know who we are, so we don't recognize how to get to that. But people are. I see a lot of people are growing into that though.
We can actually tap in. It's a lot of history out here that a lot of people have done. It's a lot of books out here that actually. It's a lot of studying out here and books out here that we actually can learn our traditions and ways, our tradition, our culture. Like, I'm learning right now the way how we used to run our government. All governments are based on it, but it's very different. All of them, they're different.
All governments are based on what? What you talking about?
All governments are based on ours. On our
Okay.
Our culture. When I say ours, I mean the original. I don't. You know, we got the original people's skin. So when I say ours, I mean ours, us people. Like I was saying, all these governments are basically based on our traditions, on our culture. They just rearranged a couple rules and a couple regulations in order to get it in the state of their favoring, so they can rule. So it is that knowledge we can go grab and go seek and start eating, talking, breathing like our ancestors, because that's the #1 step of leading your lineage. Because when you lead your lineage, you got to remember, you're just a branch. You're not that tree. And if you that branch that can connect the rest of the leaves, you know, your people and the rest of the branches back to the original root. You know, that's gonna be great. Now, not only that little family bush you was making all along because you didn't know who you were. Now you rerouting to your family history. Now you got this big old tree. My fault, cuz this big old.
I'm like, I
got a big imagine. I'm here, but I'm not because I'm in my imagination.
Yeah.
So you got this big old tree, cuz.
Knock me out.
For real though, you got this big old tree though, cuz, and it's you gotta make sure you connect.
Yeah,
it powers you. Right now, I'm learning Swahili because that's the Swahili and Arabic is the two closest language to our culture tongue. It's the closest to the original language, and that's what I'm learning right now. And one thing, and you know, I always felt like my ancestors do understand me because they're in the spiritual world, but I always wanted to speak to them in their language for some odd reason to make me feel even more power. You know what I mean? So one word I have learned was thank you, and that's asana. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong for anybody who speaks Swahili, but asana. Help me out if I'm.
Better get it right.
Yeah, no, I'm getting it. I got it
right.
No, I got it right. Asana, Santa for a fact. I know I got that last part. That means thank you very much, and so I say Asana, Santa, and then I start naming my ancestors. You know.
Okay.
That's something you can do if you're trying to reach back and you trying to dig into our culture and you trying to really lead your lineage and you trying to rebuild our culture, because that's what we need to do, rebuild our culture and rebuild your kids' mindset. You have to start with yourself, and that's the way of doing it. Learning our languages, learning our cultural ways, and start practicing our ways. Don't keep indulging in because it was the 4th of July. Don't just keep indulging because it's fun, it's activity. Teach your kids what this is about.
But then also too though, it's the other side of the coin too, of that like people, you have also have people too. Now honestly I'm like neutral, to be real. I don't pick a side on either one of these like perspectives. There's another perspective out there too from our people that say we built this country. Like what we have right now, we built the foundation of it. So why shouldn't we celebrate the 4th of July? You got those people out here too.
What do you mean by that?
We everything that we have, we built it. Even though if it was in like indentured servitude. I agree with that. We don't. But technically too, we can like it keeps going down. It keeps going down. I don't know
because I feel like this. I'm gonna be 100. I'm not on that side of us feeling like we should. The 4th of July, we was.
It's just a day to me.
Yeah. We
I just want to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep.
We still were slaves. It wasn't. They still was benefiting of us. It wasn't.
We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it a buck.
They foundation.
We still in it.
Slavery. Yeah.
13th Amendment. Yeah. We still in it. We gonna keep it a buck on here.
We are.
We all about telling the truth.
That's the truth.
If you get caught up in the penal system,
it's over. If you
13th Amendment.
So excuse me. That's why. And then, did you realize right after they signed that, that's when the high mass incarceration of black people started coming.
Then we gotta go into Jim Crow. It's all these different dynamics. So like, I get it. Like it's like you said earlier. Like just take a moment to breathe, right?
Yeah.
I think but it's like we're not here to work, but it's like we always got to be in this like survival mode, essentially.
Because that's what was given to us. There was our plan.
This too though, this is like it's so many layers to this conversation about leading your lineage. Like we have those moments where we need to just breathe, but we also know we got to go back to survival too. So our minds, it's always in a state of fight or flight. But like we don't have a moment to just be, so we can do and have. But then also too, we're saying like, hey, we want the benefits of what this current system has. Or we want to live in an apartment. We want to live in a house. We want to go to the grocery store and get this food. We want to get gas for our car. We got legs. We can walk.
Yeah.
You might be a 20-minute car ride.
Grow. We can grow.
We grow our own food.
And you can have livestock if you eat. If you eat meat, you still can grow.
You can have your own livestock.
Take care of your own cows. So, yeah, we can definitely have. Oh, but you need the area though. What area would you go to? That's the problem.
That's that goes to a deeper level of conversation. Like,
area would you go to?
and we agreed to pay property taxes. So
Yeah.
and to have the rights of a property. Like something called a leadyour title before the current situation that we have now.
I know
the leadyour title. We didn't have to, like, if you had your property, you had your property. There weren't no property taxes involved.
Besides the Indian reservations, are there any places here that you can be like off the grid legally?
That go legally is their system. Why we asking permission? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
see, he programmed. See, he ain't
programmed. I ain't programmed. I was just meaning, like, is it somewhere where they won't mess with us? Like, where you could do it and they won't, because you do need, it's either you need to do it like that or you're going to have an army, because it's just either or. It's either we need an area where you can say, hey, they ain't going to mess with us, and y'all can grow and have your own area and land and do whatever. Or
that go into another conversation.
Yeah, or we're gonna have to have an army.
And y'all have people on the inside and the outside.
Yeah.
And y'all know what they doing. Like Minister Farrakhan, he said, like, hey, don't study the enemy not to become them.
Yeah.
To know what they're doing. Don't become them, but you need to study them.
Yeah.
They've done business well.
Yeah.
Study how they did business based on where we are. Like we said in the previous episode, I think it was like the last one we recorded, was like, we can't ignore where we are right now in this moment. I consider three things in all things I'm doing.
Yeah.
How I feel about it, what I think about it, does it make sense, and the actual reality of it. Like, what the hell is it? Like that's I consider those three things in everything that I do now, and it's like we gotta address it. Well, it's like where do we go? Like where do we start? You know what I'm saying? That's really the practical advice today. Like where do we start? Where do we start? Like I say we need to learn who we are individually, like ourselves first.
Agreed.
That's why I'm writing the book, "No Stranger Within," Volume 1, coming out real soon.
Get it.
Yeah, just make sure you cop that book. So that's where I say we start there. We start right there.
Agreed.
Well, like we
gotta get to know ourselves first.
That's it.
And then I feel like the next step is finding a mass group, not a small individual. This is gonna have to be on a mass level. So we need to find a mass level of individuals who are on the same, a similar state of mind of getting a particular job done.
So this will if I was president of our congregation, right?
Yeah.
I would say, hey, everybody need to take a year sabbatical and go learn who your people are, go get your family together, and go get your health together. That's what those would be the top three things. Go learn, go get your family together.
Definitely.
Know who you are. No, let me go back. In this specific order, this is what I would say. I'll say, hey, we about to take a year off. Everybody take a year off. You about to go learn who you are on the inside, and you about to go get your family together, the ones that want to go, and then from there you got to get your health together.
Yep, agreed.
That would be my top three. If I had to have like, hey, everybody look like me, go do this. Like that would be my top three.
Yeah.
What would yours be?
Definitely be culture, cause you know what I mean. Definitely go back, figure out who we are as people, know who our family is. Know thyself. Know thyself would be the first thing I would tell them. Know thyself. First thing I would say, go out there and know thyself. Know our culture / history. We have to know that. Then the third thing I would tell them is unity. Learn unity. Unity, communication, all, like I would tie that in one. Mm-hmm. Unity / communication. We have to learn how to unite with each other and how to communicate with each other so we all can be on one understanding. I feel like if we all, everybody that looks like us, if everybody got on that same set of mind track, man, be winning. We all on the same mission. We all, like, black people, we spend the most money. So if we really could, even though it's almost impossible because eventually we'll start putting money in their pocket. If we try the hardest we can, eventually it will start spreading out. Then these little businesses, because think about it, Kellogg, they own almost all the different cereals. They just name it in different names. You know what I mean? Right. So these is branches. That's one business that had many branches. You know, they hooked up with this person and hooked up with that person, and let them have that business. And that's how it happened in the black community. If we start doing it, one business will start helping out another business, and then this business will help out. Then these businesses can come together and open up this what we didn't have. It would just help out more if we just try. Not even try. If we do shop from as much black people as we could, that's what will happen.
Well, look, that brings up.
I know what you're about to say. We can't like
no. I'm about to. It was an episode. The killer Mike.
Yeah, that he tried and
he failed.
He failed. Yes, but what I'm saying is, if we do as best as we can, not like I said earlier. I said, yeah, eventually the dollar's going to get to them, right? But if we replace as many objects as we can, if we do replace those objects that we can replace with, eventually this will help these business owners, help other business owners, can help other business owners, and eventually can work around and get the things that we don't have.
And I want to take a moment too, like, shout out to We Buy Black.
Yeah, shout out.
Because I definitely I got my detergent from there. And I use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just purchase it.
Ooh, dang! I got who I get my soap by.
But yeah, like little things, like little household things like that. That's like what we can do to start like replacing those things to be able to stimulate ourselves. Like you said, I think it's like $1.8 trillion that we spend on an annual basis.
Yeah,
like somewhere around that number, and like we don't keep that in our community long
as
at
much
all.
as we can. You know,
and that's like
we don't even try. We don't even put the effort into doing it. That's what I'm saying. Like if we start putting the effort into doing it and start buying as much we can black, eventually we'll be able to have those things we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have infrastructure to be able to really like live that out right now, right? So like that. So
how would we build infrastructure?
This is like I'm of the
for sure
mindset that we should, unless it's a better model out there, if we're going to leverage the system that we're in now. I would say that based on my research, what makes the most sense to me would be Dr. Clyde Anderson's paradigmics game plan. So the first level is finances. So we all get our businesses together. Everybody that has a business, we get our businesses together, and we build those businesses, or we can employ people and take them away from other businesses. So they work for our businesses. That would be like step one.
Yeah.
And it's like different levels to it. It's like a 5-6 story building to it. But
it's kind of the same, similar to the method I was referring to. Chandler Williams, he has that same type of similar concept. We have the first.
Dope.
Carter G. Woodson also, he has the same type of concept where we first will have to start opening up these businesses and employing each other and buying from each other first. Yep. So that definitely.
If we're gonna be where we are now, in this United States of America economy, we got to do that. That's the reality.
What's step 2? After we did it, what's step 2?
Step 2 is then you go to politics. Like Dr. Clyde Anderson laid out, politics is like, hey, if you got to get your businesses right first, because when you really take a step back at it and look at it, everything is business, everything, and everything is business.
Yeah.
I heard an older gentleman that looks like me say that in 2016, and that changed my perspective on life. He said, business is everything, and everything is business. Yeah. I was like, oh.
You know what's so crazy?
I started looking at everything. I was like, oh.
I've been thought like that. I just didn't know that there was a thought like, cause
they didn't connect it.
Yeah, I never connected. Cause I used to be like, man, cause I used to always have problems at jobs that I worked. People used to think I was crazy. I go off on a CEO and all that. You know, I used to tell them, man, I run a business too. Having me employed is a business. This is my business. Me working y'all, that's me. I'm a businessman too. I'm giving y'all my time. I'm giving y'all my effort. And everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. Yeah. Then I remember having a discussion like, you got to look at this as business. I work for, I used to get paid, this is when I was at Chewy. I was getting paid like $13.50 or something back in the day. This is before I was at Amazon and I started getting paid. Mm-hmm. But, and I was like, man, I gotta get me a new job, man. Cause I was a meat eater. I think chicken was at like like $16. I don't really recall, but I remember it was either more or equal to than I got, or equal to than I received in an hour. So I said, man, we really be working for an hour for some chicken, for a pack of chicken, bro. I gotta work for a whole hour for a pack of chicken, bro. I said, man, it started making me think different. I said, man, listen. And then nobody is thinking like I'm rolling up on people in my car. They like, man, no, bro, you be tripping, man. I'm rolling up to the next person. I'm like, mama, you know me, cuz laughing because he know how I get to be in my feelings. And I'm going around. Ain't nobody feeling like I'm feeling. I'm upset. Oh man, I'm heated. Yeah. They like, what's wrong with you? I'm in my feelings. Ain't nobody feeling like I'm feeling, man. They playing us up in here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody. Then they took away $1, and I was telling them, this would make me quit. And I was telling them, like I said, this is a business. I gotta feed my family. I'm not here to help you. Right. I'm not here, bro. I don't really care if Chewy fails or succeeds. I'm here to get my part of the pie. You know what I mean? You know? So they took that and I looked at it as a business. I said I had to go and stepped out because I didn't even have a job before that, you know, and that's when I started looking at as my time is business. Everything is business. Even conversations is business, man. Everything is business. This is a business, man. Lead Your Lineage podcast is a business, man. So make sure you please hit that subscribe button and please hit that like and please hit that share so you can support a black business. You know what I mean? We more than a black. Yeah, we melanated. I really don't like that. I use black. I use that word black for everybody else to understand me. Yeah. But if I wasn't on this camera, cause when do I ever say black when we off this camera? And I rarely. Black, melanated. You know what I mean? Melanated people. This is a global thing. We got views all across the world. Yeah, man. And when I say, and I'm glad you said that, cause when we say melanated or black, we talking about you too, homie, in Europe, bro. You know what I mean? In Australia, bro. Argentina, bro. We talking about you too, bro. We talking about you in Brazil. You in Canada, bro. What's happening, bro? What's happening? What's it do? You know, we talking about you, China, man. If you got the same skin tone like me, we family, we brothers, bro. Absolutely. Oh, we tied in, sister. You know what I mean? So we man. Oh man. Side note, I saw this cause I was going over I was editing our videos and I was looking at our skin, man. I said, man, we some good looking melanated brothers, man. My skin be popping. My skin be popping, so shout out to all the dark-skinned brothers and sisters out there. Running our genes. Man, they do, man. Absolutely. So, I wanted to ask you this, as it pertains to strategies or plans or the thought process around leading your lineage and essentially educating your children on how the world is, right? Yeah. What does, like as a father, right? Mm-hmm. What do you prepare them for, and what do you like think about you need to let them experience on their own? I prepare them for everything. You know what's so crazy about that? Both. I prepare them for it, but they also have to experience it themselves. What you mean? I want to be a father one day, so this is a personal question for you. Okay. What do you mean by that? Teach your son that, hey son, don't touch that fire. That fire hot. You just seen me do this before. Yeah. Hey, when he be jumping, hey son, don't keep jumping up there. You're gonna hurt yourself. I told him what's gonna happen. He ain't hear me. Boom, boom, bow! He busts his head, and I'm laughing. I told you, boy, you gonna hit your head. So it's the both. I tell my kids, I prepare them for it, but I let them fail because failure is the biggest teacher. Failure teaches you more than words. Failure, your parents can tell you, hey man, how many times my mama told me, hey man, don't be cooking while I'm gone because you're going to go to sleep and you're going to burn something. I was cooking that whole time till I actually went to sleep and burnt something. You know what I mean? Because no matter how, my mama was a good mama. And no matter how good of a parent you are, no matter how good of a, even your parents, bro, your parents was great. You know, my mama was great. Your parents were great. No matter what type, if you come in a one-parent home or two-parent home, you still gonna do what your parents told you not to do, then bump your head and be like, oh, they was right. You're not gonna probably go deep dive into it. It's some things you're not gonna do everything that's crazy out here. You're probably not gonna go outside the wall and go be like thugging or something. You know, you got two parents in the crib, but you still gonna do something that goes outside your parents' ruling. You gonna bump, you like, ooh, that's what my parents, let me step back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went through that.
So that's what I teach my daughter. You know, I teach my son. Well, I teach my kids that all the time, man. Look. This is how you do it. I teach my daughter, like I'm teaching her how to write. Hey, look, daughter. This is how you write. You write this. You go down. You lift up your pencil. Then you go back up and you lift up your pencil. And then you're done. Then you write this and do this A through Z. I see her doing it, and she's not trying to lift up her pencil. She's not trying to do A through Z. She's trying to find shortcuts. Guess what I do? I sit there and let her finish doing what she do. Then I say, hey, look at it. Does that look like the letter A? Does this look like the letter B? Does this look like the letter C? No. All right. Erase everything and redo it. Now since you know I told you how to do it, now you're seeing how to do it and you didn't do it correctly. Now, since you got the experience, now you're going to listen more.
Yep.
People going to listen more when they bump their head. You're going to listen more when they're not on your head. When you in that ring, when people, think about it. When people was told them, man, you crazy fighting Mike Tyson, they didn't understand until they saw that left hook come and they hit them and they was on that canvas and they was like, man, everybody was right. You know, for real, cuz, for real.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for answering that too.
Yeah, cuz experience, man, and I want to break that down too, cuz if you don't mind, cuz our ancestors always broke that down, and I'm big on getting our culture back, you know, because that's part of leading my lineage. That's part of a big goal for me for leading my lineage, and that's knowledge and wisdom. All those metaphoric, real life stories, those are real life. That's real life stuff I really do. But all those can be metaphoric for knowledge and wisdom. You have the knowledge of something, but until you have the wisdom, you don't have the full understanding of it.
Okay. I get that. Break it down for them.
Knowledge would be more of understanding of a book, something you can read from a book. Wisdom is through experience. For example, the government knows how many people lives in poverty, but they really don't actually know how it is living in poverty. That's why I feel like they cannot make any rules in order to help improve poverty, because they really just have the knowledge of it.
Yeah, they just make the rules to keep them where they are.
Yeah. So people, if you go gather up people in poverty, gather up a bunch of them, they can come up with some ideas to get them out of poverty because they have the experience of it. They know what it takes. The ones who do, I'm not saying, that's why I say you gotta get a group of the ones who actually want to help. And
it's the thing, though. It's the thing with that, though. Like once you get a group of people that are in that state of mind, in that environment,
these people gotta grow though. These people gotta want to seek.
Right. But who are they telling that to?
What you mean?
Like, say for instance, it's a group of people, group of 20 people that are in a space, in the mindset of poverty, or in an environment that perpetuates poverty on a consistent and daily basis. Like, who do they go to get them out of that issue?
Well, it's
most of the time, they're not talking to somebody that came from the same situation they came from. They talk to people that are writing the laws or made it out and really don't care about giving back. Or people that are just there to just get some TV reviews and they're really not there to help the people.
Mm-hmm.
They talk to those type of people instead of people that actually want to lend resources to get them out of that situation. But then also that comes into what you just said too, the people have to be wanting to improve themselves.
You have to be seeking.
Like
You say it every time.
Got to.
Individuals who are seeking.
It starts out with seeking first. Once you, like what you're seeking is looking for you. Like that's point blank period.
Yeah, that's how the law of
attraction
works.
Law of attraction.
Like you said in the last video, the universal laws work. They apply no matter who you are. And like the universe is blind. It doesn't have who's doing right, who's doing wrong. This person is evil, this person is good. The universe works. It's like math. If you do it right, it's going to work. So so we have to figure out what are the universal laws, and we get as people who are living in these poverties, we don't understand the universal laws. We only understand
what I'm gonna eat today.
Yeah, cause
I'm gonna be able to pay my bill.
Yeah.
Do I have AC when I get home?
Yeah.
Do I have any? Do I have hot water?
You know what else?
How I'm gonna get to work?
How I'm gonna get back from work?
Yeah, how I'm gonna get back from work? What I'm gonna feed my children?
Who I'm gonna pay to watch my children?
Right.
Well, I go to work and from back from work.
Who am I?
Yeah. What job? And now I don't have transportation, so you have to either walk to the job, so you have to pay to get to the job. It's like, man.
But then also too, that goes back to like people have to be wanting to change internally first.
Yeah. Because
I can go sit with a 40-year-old individual and give them the game, right?
Yeah.
On how like I was able to learn who I was, and that provided me with the utmost clarity to be able to do what I'm doing now, right?
Yeah.
But like they don't want to take the information, take that knowledge, and go get some experience to have that wisdom to go pour it. Well, now they got poured into anybody else after that, but if they don't have that mindset initially to take that action and execute on it, then like it wasn't a waste of time. But for me, but for that person, it wasted their time. Yeah. They could have been doing what they were doing prior to.
Yeah. And you know what's so sad though about that mindset? It's, in my opinion, it's 50-50 because it's kind of given to them. It's set for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
set. And I don't mean for them because I'm coming from that. I'm coming from that hood rap. You know, all that. I come from the Jets. You know, I used to be in the Jets all the time hanging out. You know, so and when I had me be able to get that out of my mind, bro, that took a lot. That was a fight, man. It was times when I was working at Goodwill. I don't know if I told you the story or not, but I was working. I can say this. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I was working at
Don't get us canceled.
No. If anything, it's gonna get me in trouble. But no, I'm messing with you. It shouldn't get me in trouble. I don't care. It's over 7 years.
Well, the Rico real. I don't know.
Hey. I'm gonna say this.
Choose your words wisely.
When I was working at Goodwill, man, this is when I was first changing my life. And I was like, man, because I was used to selling, man. I didn't have no job. I'm selling, you know. I'm working at Goodwill, man. It's only paying me at like 7. I was getting paid like 10 cents more than 20 cents more than minimum wage. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't take it. Now I'm working. I start finding myself breaking down, and I start selling the furniture from the back, cuz I start selling the furniture from the back. They furniture from the back, cuz I stood.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, look. It got to the point, man. I'm like, man, look, man. I'm not making no money. I said, you know what, man? It all inspired me, man. Cause the dude went in there and I was doing bad. I'm looking at him and the way we talking, I'm like, if I tell this dude I sell it to him for half, he ain't gonna say nothing. This is how it all started. And I'm just looking. He thought, hey, bro, you really want this? I said, yeah. I said, bro, why don't you put this back? And man, go get that tag and this, that, da. And I act like you bought it, man. I sell it to you for half price. I said, matter of fact, anything you want in there from now on, I'll give it to you for half price. Come to figure out that this man owns like some type of store, some type of whatever. I don't know what he did, but he owned somewhere. He was just getting the furniture out. He was buying little things, getting it out. He was selling it. I don't know if he was selling online. I wasn't into the man business. I was just trying to get the money. I was trying to get the funds. Man, I was selling them couches out there left and right, man. You know what I mean? And why I'm bringing this story up is because, like I said, I've been in that road, man, and it was breaking me down. And I started thinking like, if I can start selling these couches and all that, and I'm making all this side money, why don't I just start selling drugs again? And then it's that relapse. It's that getting. It's that mindset. It tricks you back. So what I'm saying, to tie it all back down, tie this all together again, is you have to, when you do choose to be in that mindset, you have to also have the will in order to stay in that mindset. Because like I said, I was in that bad predicament. I was in a predicament where the water started getting hot, where I couldn't feel my feet. The depths of the ground started sinking deeper. I was at Goodwill. I'm drowning. I'm not getting paid enough money. I'm starting to sell couches in the back. I'm about to start selling drugs again. But I end up bumping into somebody who helped me get a new job. You know what I mean? So that I stopped again. And I kept finding myself, because even in, I'm going to fast forward this, a lot of stuff happened prior to that, but like even in 2018, after, because I was wanted all the way from like 2013 to like 2017, I was wanted. Yeah, I was wanted. So, yeah, I can say this because I'm proud of my growth, I'm proud of my growth.
Proud of it too.
And so,
proud of it too.
And around 2018, like 2017, I really start, I was trying to really get out. But around 2018, I started making these things called edibles. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, okay, it's not actually selling drugs. I'm just selling edibles. I can just sell edibles. And I'm saying this so we can keep on track. This is the mindset you gotta go. So I'm reclapsing again on my mindset of growing again, right? It's 2018. And so my guy, I bumped into my guy. He said, man, Ronnie, I thought you were doing good, bro. He said, man, you always got a toe in the streets. I said, what do you mean, bro? My toe not in the streets. And my mindset wasn't fully out of it. You know what I mean? I didn't actually know. I'm like, what you mean, bro? He said, bro, your toe's still in the streets, bro. You selling edibles. I said, bro, I'm just selling edibles. It's just food, bro. He said, yeah, bro, you still. He said, bro, what they do? Get you high. He said, bro, it's not legal, is it? I said, no. He said, you can still go to jail for it, can't you? I said, yeah, bro. And it went past my head because I'm like, bro, tweaking, bro. I just start saying yeah just so he can leave me alone. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, it's edibles, bro. I ain't been on the streets. I ain't been physically on the streets. I ain't been. In my mind, I'm thinking like I took myself out that setting, but I didn't take my mind out that setting. I took my physical body out that setting, but I didn't take my mind out that setting. You know what I mean? I took parts of it, but I didn't take all of it. So around, dang, I had my daughter, bro. That's what real 2019. Dang,
That was that turning point for
2018. Damn, bro, when was my daughter born? 2018. Yeah, man. Dang. Hey, 2018.
90s, holy.
Man, bro, 2018. So yeah,
She was, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was born 2018. So, yeah, around that time, man. No, when she was born, that's when I was selling the edibles. Because I remember I came back home. And I was like, dang, I got to make sure I put this bag up so my daughter won't eat it. But anyway, man, make a long story short, man, it just got to when I start sitting down and I start reading and I start actually changing my mindset, that came with it. I start figuring out, you know how we both keep saying, know thyself?
Right.
I figured out who thyself was, and I no longer could have that same mindset. Now that my body was out that set. First my body was out that set, my fault. First my body was out that set, but my mind still was. And I kept ticking a little bit. I skipped a lot, but I kept ticking. Then eventually I had lost that mindset. Then you know what happened? That rose and that concrete grew.
Yeah.
And I start seeing like, dang, because at first in that concrete, only thing you see is nothing. It's boom, boom, boom. I start sprouting, and I start seeing my stems start coming up. I start seeing the sun. I start seeing everything around me. I start seeing this environment. I feel like I can thrive. So, that's just little story, man. You know, just to help people with this all ties into growing into a better mindset, man. Knowing who you are, knowing thyself. That's why I personally said thyself would be one of the first things I think our people need to do.
I think it's the most important thing, personally. That is me, though.
Yeah, that's just me. Yeah, cuz. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, I got one, cuz. I got something.
What's up?
Sean Washington. What's the quote of the day, cuz?
I need a new co-host after that.
Sean Washington. Man, my stuff go hard, man. What's
quote
the
of the day? Quote of the day. I'm gonna go. Another one of my favorite quotes is from Frederick Douglass. It's easier to train a strong child than it is to heal a broken man.
That's a new one. I ain't never heard you say that one, cuz.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes. That's
break it down.
That's another reason why I'm passionate about working with young people, specifically young men. Once we get to the latter years, right?
Mm-hmm. You said what years?
The latter years of our life. Like, say for instance, everybody lived to 100, right?
Yeah.
Once we get past that 50, are you downhill from there? Right?
Damn, God damn.
If
you 50, you still got a future.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're so steady in your ways. And like if those ways from the foundation were flawed or tainted or poisoned, or it was a shaky foundation at the forefront, and then you unknowingly carrying that generational dysfunction on because you just think that generational dysfunction is just normal. Yeah. Like you think it's normal to go like take advantage of people by committing a crime, like stealing cars or something. Yeah. You think it's normal to go steal a car. You know what I'm saying? It's just normal. Like that's what we do. Like, it's normal to go shoplift. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like this is going to like common law too. Like don't hurt don't kill anybody. Like don't steal from anybody, and be honest in all your doings. That speaks on integrity, right? So. Like in terms of like just common law that like everybody should just follow, right? Like it's like once you get to 50, if you have like decades of that underneath your belt and it's like embedded in your subconscious, that's who you are. Unless something like emotional unless something emotional happens where like you have a OMG moment, like yo, I gotta switch it up now. Like that was it. I can't take this no more. But when you're around young children and you influence them and impact them in a way where they can essentially have all their choices at hand, and they can make that choice because they have all their choices. They can make the right choice or the wrong choice, but they still have time to recover from it because they haven't been tainted with all of the world's dysfunction, essentially.
Yeah, I know exactly what you
mean. So that's why I'm passionate about dealing with young people, because I want them to avoid the mistakes I've made. I want them to be better than me. Like I want them to make sure they can be a better version of themselves, so they can be a better version of themselves for their family. That's why I'm passionate. That's what keeps me up at night.
Let them know, cuz they don't know. Let them know all the boys and stuff you don't work with, all the young.
Man, I done mentored young men at Indiana State University. I done mentored young men, hundreds of young men here in the city, directly and indirectly, speaking at schools, speaking at different organizations, speaking at summer camps. Working with Bloom Project the past 6 years, been doing that consistently, stepped up into a leadership role with Bloom, and it's like all these different components, and going to community events too, seeing young people, and it's just like, man, it's so many different variables once you get up in age and you're stuck in your ways. There's so many different variables, but if you get them when they're young, Like
So
you can have a positive
what would
impact.
you tell? What would you tell somebody that's a youth right now that's probably looking for somebody to mentorship? Where would you tell them, and where would you tell them they can reach you at as well? Not only tell them, say something inspiring. Tell them where they can reach you at because.
No, absolutely. For my young people that's out there, I would.
What's up? How you doing today? Well, anyway, I stopped you because I see that you went to the original people in the Eve gene, and I like that dress, man. I was wondering if you would like to be a model. You know, I like how you standing still. You want a model for us? Hello? Anyway, man, that same stone face, no talking pose, I need you to keep that same energy. Pick up my card, man, and I would love to have you on the team. Woo.
And what I would say to the young people would be, really be intentional about figuring out who you are, like from like who your ancestors are, like what you really love to do, what you're passionate about. You don't have to create a business around your passion. That's up to you. It's to each their own. But do that thing because you have it. Like that thing will make you happy, or whatever that is. If it's not a thing, like that'll make you happy. So definitely lean in that and lean on that. If it's not a business, just do it. Be yourself. Learn about yourself, and don't change. Don't change. Don't change. Don't sell out.
There we go.
Don't sell out.
There we go.
Instead of don't change. Like, since we've been shooting the podcast, we've changed.
Mm-hmm.
But don't sell out, though. Changing and selling out, two completely different things. So, yeah. Learn yourself, be yourself, and don't sell out.
Don't forget to tell them if they want to reach you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you want to get in contact with me, you can hit me on IG at Shine the Light, SeanTheLight.
Shine the light!
So yeah, hit me on IG, and I do respond to my messages. And yeah, let's build and let's grow. I'm here for the people.
Yeah, man, gotta make sure y'all hit Cuz up, man. Let's wrap this one up, Cuz. Go ahead and hit him with the famous Lead Your Lineage ending, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Well, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And we are the #1 podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. And like we always love to end it on, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage.
Shout out to my mama, love you.
Lead to the mom. Peace.